Hello YouTube, hello Mr. Bromfield, and hello class. I am doing my 5-minute presentation on why Steven Universe is the strongest Cartoon Network character. I will be going through his background a little bit and his abilities and what they are. Well, if you didn't know, Steven, he's half human, half gem. These gems, well, they're extraterrestrial species of magical, generally humanoid, like a humanoid beings. Well, Steven, he's one of the gems. He's a diamond, which is the toughest gem. Steven's power are material, and the control of his gemstone is based on emotional clarity. Now, I'm going to be first getting into his shield abilities. He has quite a bit of them. So he has a protective shield. Steven can throw this shield as a projectile with great speed and power. He has shield vibration. On certain occasions, when Steven's shield is hit, it emits an audible, like an audible vibration that dis that disables magic constructs. If you have magic abilities, he can disable that with his shield. He also has Bubble Shield. Steven can summon an incredibly durable bubble around him, like around him, like around him. He also has shape alterations. Steven can change the size of his bubble as well as change the shape from a spear into various other shapes. For instance, he can create spikes on his bubble and appear along its surface or stretch it to protect others. He can stretch it like this or like this. Like this, spikes. Or like this, spikes. He also has bubble gloves. It's wrapped around his hand. This increases his strength in his punches and his blocks. He can block with his fist. Popping. So remember when I talked about that bubble? When he pops the bubble, it can knock back other enemies. The next thing I'm going to be getting to is his emotional abilities. He has a lot of these, but I only named one because all the other ones fall into other categories. His monster state. This is when he felt hopeless and powerless, and he felt like he was a monster. And when he felt like he was a monster, he became a monster. He was about the same size as Godzilla, maybe strong. He's stronger than Godzilla in this state. He can easily overpower Godzilla in this state. He can overpower all the diamonds and the gems and the cluster, which is this big old confusion of gems that are supposed to destroy Earth. He can stop that. He's strong as freak, guys. His super, not super, his physical abilities is superhuman strength. Martial arts, he's really good at combat. Intelligence, he's not like really smart, but he's good at problem solving. Superhuman durability, he can take lots of hits. Tag team combat, he's great on a team. Speed, he's really fast. I'll get back to that later. He can fly. This dude can freaking fly. He's a competent shield fighter, and for a short period of time, he's invulnerable to all attacks. For his magical abilities, and this is where it gets a lot. I'm going to be going over my 5-minute period here. But for magic abilities, he has shape shifting. He can shape shift a little bit. He's not the best at it. Age. He can fractalize his age. Steven can manipulate his age through the state of his mind. And Steven's age depends on solely how he thinks he is. Now, I bet you're wondering how Steven looks, right? Yeah, you're wondering how he looks. He looks like this. This is him. This is, let that render in. That's Steven right there. Okay. So the light did just change. I changed it on accident. But that's Steven. I don't have all these fancy things, so this is how we're gonna be doing it. um, he can heal. Steven has the power to heal animals and plants, as well as repair gems. Remember those gems I talked about? And inanimate objects. Say you broke a teddy bear, right? Rip. He does this. Ah, bam, smacks it on that teddy bear, and boom, it's repaired. Resurrection, just like his mom, which his mom is dead. His mom became him. It's weird. I'll talk about it in a later story. Stephen possesses the ability to resurrect the dead with his magical tears. The recipient turns pink and gains special abilities, such as the ability to grant access to the pink dimension, which is Stephen's dimension. When someone dies and he resurrects them, they go through their hair and they go into a dimension that's pink. I can't show you the dimension. Also, they have extremely slow metabolism and heart rate, so you can go a long time without eating. He also has self healing. He can heal himself. He has Saito animation. Using his healing saliva, Stephen can grow sentient and flora by licking plant seeds. Stephen discovers he can grow watermelon-shaped Stevens from the seed. It takes a day to grow. They act as bodyguards, but they do not directly under control. The watermelon Stevens ignore his orders and attack whoever they think is threatening him. He can make life. Pebble animation. With his sweat, he can turn animate pebbles into living pebbles. This even means boulders. He can turn boulders into living objects. Imagine having a big old rock dude, not the rock, but a rock dude, and he's your bodyguard. Imagine that. Imagine the power. He also is a telepath. He can do that through his dreams. This is where it gets good. Stephen can enter the dreams of humans, but also, if he repeats this power too much, he'll get physically exhausted. He has a mind transfer. He can take control of Merlin Stevens or even humans. Stephen can transfer his conscience into other living beings. He has a connection. People he has a connection with. He can. So like Lars, for instance, a character named Lars. He accidentally, he went to sleep and woke up. I'm Lars. While true, the mind and the host body lays dormant while he is in control of it. The full extent of this is unknown. We don't know how powerful this is. He could probably take over multiple bodies. Well, we don't know. Mind link. Stephen can link his mind to other beings. This power allows Stephen to feel the target's emotion and to see the world through their eyes. So say he's fighting someone, right? He can link himself to them, feel their emotions, and since his powers are emotion-based, he could use that against the enemy. He's a very passive person, though, but when you finna hurt somebody, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sing it out of you. He also has, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but psychothermy, the supposed ability to discover facts about an event or person by touching them. He pretty much, his mom, since it's not him anymore, he can have dreams and stuff about what his mom did. It's really emotional. It's like a bunch of PTSD around that. He also has recognition by certain stuff around the house. If he touches them, he can see the past, mainly the gem stuff. He also has I keep saying he also has astral projection. You know what astral projection is? Out of body experiences. He can have an out of body experience. Isn't that amazing? An out of body experience, Electro interference. He can broadcast on TVs and electronic devices without electronics. With himself, he can broadcast on TVs. Distant regulation. Stephen can levitate his own body and even manipulate its gravity. That's how he flies pretty much. Now, if you combine that with the pink state, he is capable of moving at a percentage of light speed. So combine that flying with the light speed movement, he can fly at the speed of almost a percentage of light speed. This also increases all those abilities I just named, the ones I'm gonna name. It increases the power of those abilities by a lot. I don't know a number. I'm not gonna calculate it, but by a lot. Increased physical strength. He's capable of shattering several trees. You've seen a tree, it's made of wood. You know, you can break it, you can chop it, but shattering a tree? What? What? He can shatter a tree like a glass bottle. I don't know why I said glass bottle, should have glass cup. But he can shatter that thing. He also has increased physical strength. I know I said this before, but that's how he shatters a tree. He can punch it, bam, or he can scream, ah, and that breaks. This is shattering, you know? No, not shattering gems. He can also manipulate his body proportions. So say he wants to be big. He can be big. He can manipulate his arm, his head, his body. Yeah, he's not fully control of this because all the PTSD as a kid. This is why it acted in his peak state. He also has a massive of interlocking hexagon plates that he can spike, which can be thrown at targets. This attack impacts to enough to completely force and shatter to kill a gem. This means, human-wise, in the air, right? Boom, has this big old shield. Boom, spikes, right? And then boom, you're dead. Human-wise, he would destroy an army by himself. And that's how powerful he is. And that's why Steven Universe is the strongest Cartoon Network character. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the Holy Box. And I'll be boxing you up later.